Hello, everybody. This is Pete from PA Labs, and I've been having fun with my GridPlay demo that I'm fixing to release here. I'll probably get it out on the website tonight, and I think this video will appear tomorrow. And I've taken this to a whole new level. So, taken away from you is the ability to build any grid of any size. But I have given back the fact that you can build square, pointy topped, or flat grids. It does the line pathing, which does not really look at the grid. He actually goes from endpoint to endpoint. Well, I'll show you. And then it does a flood fill, which is currently what I'm doing on the war game for movement. And then it also does an A-star search, which is what I've spent the last day bringing to life. Now, we'll walk through these, and it works on all of the grids. So we'll start with a flat top grid here. Now, you can see the gray squares are impassable. So if I draw the line and go from here to here, he's just going to go right over that impassable hex. That's not a real valid movement sort of thing. But if you're wanting to, check things out and use that, you can. And then we have the flood fill. Now, the flood fill and all of these work. First, you left click the grid, and that's what gives you your selected hex. And then you can right click the same hex, or you can right click another hex, but it's going to go from the hex there. And so you can see that the flood fill is avoiding all of the cells he can't get to. He's got a hard-coded movement of 4. So that's his max movement range, but he also can't go on blocked hexes. And so he is looking up the terrain cost, which all grass is 1. So you can actually see in the code how and where this is being done. And then the final, and this is the creme de la creme. I'm going to go ahead and rebuild and just kind of get a cool looking one up here. The grayed out hexes are random. So this is a cool one. Okay, so let's go ahead and start here. And so now I'm going to right click this hex here. And as you can see, he did a path directly to my hex, avoiding all of the impassable squares. So it does a pretty cool thing. Sometimes he takes the long way around. I'd probably have to scroll down to have him coming across, but that's okay because, it's still going just fine. He's going to get there. And so this is the demo for you. This shows you how it does it all, how it does the A1 search. And you can actually do this with any of the grids. Whoops, I got to click one correctly. And it'll work on any of the grids, square grid included. And all 3 of these will. Again, the way you play with it is left click to put your starting hex, right click is your destination, or in the case of the flood fill, it's the trigger to do the flood fill on our phantom unit that's in the starting hex. Not a whole lot in the way of code to show. I have filled out all of the functions that do everything based on grid type. The big change is I added a list to our map of the hexes. So we have a list of every hex that is on the grid. And the map contains the grid type. So all of this is pulled from the map, and the knowledge of the blocked hex comes from this child collection indirectly, because in order for speed, what I'm doing is building an array called grid. I'm dimensioning an array of grid of the number of rows and column. So that way I can do a row column lookup and return that map grid structure. Okay. So this is referenceable by row and column. And that gives it the speed that the software needs in order to look all those values up. All of the math is either, well, the A1 search has his own page, and yeah, I converted a bunch of code the last couple days from the web on this, and let's see, A1 search, here it is. So I found this website, geeksforgeeks.org, and it was on the A search algorithm, and they give sample code for C++, Java, Python, C#, and JavaScript. I took the JavaScript and then referenced both the C# and the Python to figure out the pieces of code, and then rewrote the whole thing in PureBasic. And then where they had come in and done a block of code for each individual direction that you travel, I've consolidated it down to a single block, and then we go do our neighbor hex lookup, and we're actually getting into there and playing with the oh crap, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, here it is. This is why I wasn't seeing it on the screen. I look up the vector from our source hex to the surrounding hexes, like we do on the flood search and stuff like that, the flood fill. So all the code is here. You can play with it. The instructions are left click for your start point, right click to either initiate or to make that the from cell. And this will be out on the website for y'all to download. A fully working model with 3 different grid types and all the functions you'd ever want to play with. So this A1 search, as I was reading, is what they're doing out there on the PureBasic website. I figured that out finally, and then did some searching and found that website, and then spent a day and a half converting all the code over. Well, their code was about 600 lines of code, and I think I got it down to, what did I get it all down to? I got it down to, 475. So I cut 150 lines off, but theirs only covered square grids. So ours now covers all 3 of the different style grids. So anyhow, that is the project. That is this demo. And I want to thank y'all a whole lot for watching.